Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of James Draws Everything, and today we are continuing our Drawing Every Country's Flag in the World series, and we're going to be going back to Asia, and that means we're going to have the talk, okay, because we're doing North Korea. We already did South Korea, okay, so you know most of the history. Yeah, and this is like the talk when you got in trouble with your parents in high school or something, and they had to have the talk with you. North Korea, very controversial. Okay, so we'll just get that out there right away, and I don't have to hold back what I say at all because I don't think anybody in North Korea actually has access to American internet, so they're not watching this channel. So I don't think I can get kicked out of North Korea for what I say, right? Alright, so let's get to the flag. It is a longer flag, and it's got blue bars on the top, kind of like skinny blue bars, top and bottom. And what can you tell us about North Korea, James, that you didn't say in South Korea? Well, as you know, the Korean Peninsula was occupied by Japan in the early 20th century, and the reasons for that are probably more complicated than they're kind of given credit for. Japan was always invaded by outside powers through the Korean Peninsula, so that kind of led to Japanese militarism and stuff in the early 20th century because they were, kind of paranoid, and rightfully so. And then after World War II, with the capitalists and the communist powers splitting up the world, Korea became a bit of a hot spot for that. You had Russian influence in the north, and then capitalist influence in the south. So the South Koreans became friendly to the Western powers, whereas North Korea became communist. And of course there was the Korean War as a result of that. And yeah, Korea though, or North Korea, and even China kind of in the same way, they're not like Marxist-Leninist communist states like the Soviet Union was. It's a much different kind of form of that. Like the Koreans and the Chinese were actually at odds with the Soviet Union for a lot of the Cold War, which is what kind of led to China becoming more open, to the United States during the 70s. And yeah, the North Koreans kind of got shut out. China still helps them, like every now and then. They'll get grain shipments and whatnot from China, but North Korea really is one of the most unique kind of states in world history because it's completely isolated from the rest of the world, and not due to geography or anything like that. South Korea, it's the same people, the same geography, same land basically. They're just split down the middle. So yeah, it's of course it's always in the news for stuff popping up there, every now and then, with them threatening their neighbors and whatnot. So yeah, and it has a family dynasty that kind of rules things. In 1948, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was formed under Kim Il-sung, and of course, for some reason, every communist country takes the democratic, they adopt that part into their name, whereas South Korea was officially, or is officially, the Republic of Korea. So yeah, it was under Kim Il-sung, and then they adopted a policy of it's called Juche, self-reliance. So again, not really ideological like Marxist communism. They kind of willingly separated from the rest of the world, and unfortunately, serious humanitarian crisis there. Kim Jong-il took over after Kim Il-sung's death, and the current leader, Kim Jong-un, in 2010 became the leader of North Korea. And North Korea has been separated from the rest of the world for so long that their education, their again, kind of like I alluded to at the beginning of this video, I don't think anybody there has access to internet outside of North Korea. It's one of the most controlled societies in all of the world, so they really don't even know history outside of the Korean War, because all the people that fought in the Korean War are either excommunicated from the country or they're long dead. So nobody in the country really knows anything about the outside world or about history, which even you go to some of the very remote countries in sub-Saharan Africa, they still know what the United States is. But in North Korea, they think they won the Korean War, which you can kind of go wherever you want with that. I mean, because they did unfortunately become communists, but yeah, they didn't really defeat the United States. But yeah, so they have their own very unique mythology and their own history that they teach in North Korea. And one of the interesting aspects of that is that Kim Jong-un, basically like a god there. Everybody in their house has a picture of him, and apparently Kim Jong-un, he golfed a perfect game. He everything he did was literally perfect. He never every time he shot a dart probably was a bullseye. That's actually what they learned there. So he's more than just the leader of the country. It is very ideological. And James, what does the flag of North Korea stand for? So there's a red star in the middle, which of course means communism. The broad red band symbolizes revolutions. The narrow white band stands for purity, and the blue stands for sovereignty, peace, and friendship. Which, take that as you may. So let's just finish off North Korea. And James, since Kim Jong-un is so good at everything, I actually heard he's a pretty good artist too. And he actually subscribes to my channel, believe it or not. Yeah, because I only have one North Korean subscriber, so it's got to be him. And I know that prior to 2017, Americans could travel to North Korea, on very strict, guidelines, and having a travel agent with you and stuff. And it was a guided tour. You only saw the parts that they wanted you to see, and that stopped when Trump got elected. But yeah, because he obviously was a little bit more bellicose towards North Korea. But James, would you want to visit North Korea? You know what? I actually am crazy enough to where, yes, I actually would, just to say that I did, because nobody else can say that. So I don't know. Kim Jong-un, I know you're a fan of my channel, so reach out to me, jamesdrawseverything@gmail.com, and your people can talk to my people. We'll set something up. And for all the rest of you, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.